twins' destiny. There were two twin sisters named Lily and Lucy. They were as cute as two little buttons, always laughing and playing together. They lived in a happy home with their loving mom and handsome dad. Every morning, their house was filled with the smell of pancakes and the sound of music from their dad's guitar. Life was perfect for the two girls. But one day, everything changed. Their parents got a divorce. Lily stayed with her dad, while Lucy left the United States with her mother and moved to the UK. The girls couldn't understand why their family was breaking apart. They didn't know that this was just the beginning of a long journey filled with pain and loneliness. That year, they were 6 years old. As the years passed, they grew up in different countries, far from each other. They forgot each other. Their parents never told them about the other sister. They didn't know they had a twin living somewhere in the world. Sometimes, at certain moments, both girls would feel like they were missing something important in their lives, but they could never figure out what it was. 15 years later, Lily had become a professional photographer, capturing the beauty of the world through her lens. She had traveled to many places, but she had always dreamed of visiting Hawaii. This summer, she finally had the chance. She was excited to relax and enjoy some time off with her boyfriend, Mark, who was a writer. They decided to spend their vacation at a luxurious resort by the beach. One sunny afternoon, the couple decided to spend the day by the pool. The warm Hawaiian sun was shining down, and the sound of waves crashing on the shore filled the air. The pool area was peaceful, with only a few people lounging under umbrellas, sipping drinks, and enjoying the perfect weather. Lily was lying on a comfortable lounge chair, wearing a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses, flipping through a photography magazine. Mark, on the other hand, was enjoying a cold drink, chatting with her about their plans for the evening. The gentle breeze made the palm trees sway, and everything felt perfect. Lily left for a while and went to the service desk. Soon, Mark looked up at a woman who was walking over with 2 glasses of juice. He quickly walked over, took a glass of juice, hugged the woman, and said, "Thank you, Lily!" Lucy was startled by the sudden hug. She gasped and quickly broke free. "Excuse me?" she asked with a confused look on her face. The woman, completely surprised, froze for a second. She looked at Mark with wide eyes, clearly confused. I think you've got the wrong person," she said, her voice soft but firm. Mark immediately pulled back, his face turning red with embarrassment. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," he stammered. "I thought you were my girlfriend. You look exactly like her." At that moment, Lily also came back. She blinked in surprise as she saw Mark standing awkwardly next to the woman. It took her a moment to realize what had happened. "Mark, what are you doing?" she called out, trying to hold back her laughter. She could tell that Mark was both embarrassed and a bit stunned by the coincidence. The young woman smiled and gave a small laugh. "It's okay," she said. It's a funny mistake, really. You don't have to apologize. She then looked at Lily. I can't believe this, Lily said, staring at the woman. You really do look just like me. Mark, still a little embarrassed, turned to the woman and said, I have to admit I thought you were her. It's unbelievable how similar you two look. The woman nodded, still smiling. My name's Lucy, she said, extending her hand to Lily. And you're Lily, right? Lily nodded, still in shock. Yes, I'm Lily. For a moment, both women just stood there, amazed at the resemblance between them. Mark was shaking his head, trying to process the situation. This is so strange, he muttered. Do you think we're related? Lucy asked, still joking, but with a hint of curiosity in her voice. Lily smiled. I don't know, but this is wild. I mean, what are the chances of this happening? Just then, a man with dark hair and a relaxed smile walked up to Lucy. He was holding 2 cold drinks, and when he saw the group standing together, he raised an eyebrow. What's going on? He asked with a friendly laugh. This is Jack, Lucy said, introducing him. Jack smiled and shook hands with Mark and Lily. Lucy told Jack about their meeting, and Jack also thought it was amazing. This is incredible, he said. They smiled at each other, still processing the strange encounter, and then said their goodbyes. Later that evening, as the sun set over the island, casting a soft orange glow over the sky, the 4 of them found themselves at a cozy seaside restaurant. The scent of grilled fish and tropical fruit filled the air, mixing with the sound of gentle waves crashing against the rocks. The restaurant was busy, with tourists and locals laughing, eating, and enjoying the island's warm atmosphere. It was the perfect spot to unwind after a fun day by the pool. As Mark and Lily walked into the restaurant, they spotted Lucy and Jack already seated at a table near the window, overlooking the ocean. Mark couldn't believe his luck. He had never imagined they would run into each other again so soon. It felt almost magical, as if the universe had designed this moment for them. Mark smiled sheepishly as he approached the table. I guess it wasn't a fluke, he said, a little embarrassed but still amused by the strange turn of events. I didn't expect to see you two here. Lucy laughed, shaking her head. It's funny, isn't it? She replied, her eyes twinkling. I swear, you two must be some kind of magical twins or something. She looked at Lily, who was still amazed by the uncanny resemblance. It's not every day that you meet someone who looks like you, right? Lily smiled, settling into the seat next to Mark. It's definitely strange. I mean, we don't even know each other, but somehow it feels like we've known each other forever. Jack chuckled as he reached for the menu. Well, if you're long-lost twins, then this is the perfect place for a reunion, he joked, gesturing to the tropical setting. The laughter that followed felt natural and warm, as if they had known each other for years. The conversation flowed easily as they started talking about their days in Hawaii. Jack, who was a laid-back surfer, shared some of his favorite spots on the island to catch waves, while Lily, with her photography background, talked about the beautiful landscapes and her favorite shots from the day. Lucy and Mark, both avid readers, bonded over their shared love for books, with Lucy mentioning how she loved mystery novels, while Mark preferred historical fiction. As they chatted, they realized they had so much in common, despite coming from different parts of the world. They all shared a love for adventure, new experiences, and of course, traveling. It didn't feel like a chance meeting anymore. It felt like they had been brought together for a reason, as though they were meant to become friends. The food arrived, and the conversation turned to lighter topics, like what they planned to do the next day. Jack suggested they go on a boat tour around the island, while Lucy mentioned visiting a hidden waterfall she had heard about from some locals. Lily, who had already been to a few beautiful spots on the island, was eager to see more, and Mark was excited to explore new places with new friends. "Why don't we all go together tomorrow?" Lily suggested, her eyes lighting up at the thought of spending more time with the two of them. "It'll be fun! We can take photos, swim in the waterfall, and just enjoy the island." Everyone agreed enthusiastically. "It sounds like a perfect plan," Mark said, nodding in agreement. That night, the four of them stayed at the restaurant for hours, sharing stories, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. It was as if time had slowed down, and they had all found a little piece of happiness in each other's presence. After dessert, they left the restaurant together, stepping out into the warm Hawaiian evening. The stars were bright above them, the sky clear and full of promise. As they walked along the beach, with the sound of the ocean waves in the background, they made plans for the next few days of their vacation. Despite coming from different countries, they felt like they had known each other for much longer. They exchanged contact details, promising to stay in touch once the vacation ended. None of them wanted this magical connection to disappear when they returned to their respective homes. The following days were filled with fun adventures. They explored hidden beaches, hiked through lush rainforests, and swam in crystal-clear lagoons. The two couples had so much fun together that they didn't want the vacation to end. They shared moments of joy, whether it was Lucy and Mark debating over the best local dishes or Lily and Jack finding new hidden spots for photography. Everywhere they went, it felt like a celebration of friendship and connection. On the last night of their stay, they gathered for a farewell dinner at a cliffside restaurant. The sunset painted the sky in shades of pink and purple as they toasted to their new friendship. "To fate," Mark said, raising his glass, "for bringing us together in such a beautiful way." "To new friends," Lucy added, smiling warmly at Lily and Mark. "To the magic of Hawaii," Jack said, clinking his glass with the others. Lily looked around at the three people sitting at the table with her, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "To unforgettable memories," she said softly, "and to staying in touch." The four of them made a promise that their friendship would last beyond the island. They exchanged heartfelt goodbyes, with the understanding that they would never forget the special bond they had formed in Hawaii. Even after they returned to their own countries, they kept their promise. They sent messages, shared photos, and stayed connected through video calls. Their friendship continued to grow, a beautiful reminder that sometimes the most unexpected meetings can lead to lifelong connections. When Lucy returned home from her vacation in Hawaii, she couldn't wait to tell her mother about the amazing person she had met. She rushed into the house, her eyes wide with excitement. Her mother was sitting in the living room, reading a book. Lucy sat down next to her, her heart racing. "Mom, I have to tell you something incredible," Lucy said, her voice full of energy. Her mother looked up and smiled. "What happened, darling?" "I met a girl in Hawaii, and we looked so much alike that people actually thought we were twins." Lucy's voice was full of wonder as she spoke. "It was the strangest thing." Her mother listened quietly, her expression unreadable. After a long pause, she put the book down and looked at Lucy. "What is the girl's name?" she asked softly. "Her name is Lily. She's from the United States," Lucy replied, still smiling at the memory of their first meeting. Lucy's mother's face changed. She seemed deep in thought. After a few seconds, she looked at Lucy and said, "I think she might be your twin sister." Lucy's heart stopped for a moment. "What? My twin sister?" she said, her voice filled with surprise and confusion. "But how could that be?" Her mother took a deep breath and began to explain. "Lucy, 15 years ago, when your father and I divorced, we made the decision to keep some things from you. One of those things was that you had a twin sister. After the divorce, we lost contact with your father, and I never told you about her." Lucy was silent for a moment, trying to process what her mother had just said. "I have a twin? I have a sister I didn't know about?" she asked, still in shock. Her mother nodded, her eyes a little sad. "Yes, and her name is Lily. She grew up with your father in America, and you've both been living separate lives all these years without knowing the other existed." Lucy felt a mix of emotions: shock, joy, confusion, and excitement. She had always wondered why she sometimes felt like something was missing from her life. Now it made sense. She had a twin sister out there, and she had just met her. Without wasting another second, Lucy quickly picked up her phone and dialed Lily's number. When Lily picked up, Lucy could barely contain her excitement. "Lily, you're my sister! We're twin sisters!" she shouted into the phone. Lily's voice on the other end of the line was filled with disbelief. "What? You're serious? Oh my gosh, this is crazy!" The two of them laughed and cried together as they talked about their lives over the past 15 years. They shared stories of growing up, their favorite memories, and the things they had always dreamed about. It felt like they had known each other forever, even though they had just met. For hours they spoke on the phone, catching up on everything they had missed. It was as if they were making up for lost time. Finally, Lily said, "I have to see you, Lucy. I have to meet you in person." A few weeks later, Lily made plans to visit Lucy in the United Kingdom. She decided to bring her father with her, wanting to reconnect with the family she had been separated from for so long. It was a long journey, but she was determined to reunite with her twin sister and meet her mother. When Lily and her father arrived in the UK, Lucy was waiting for them at the airport. As soon as Lucy saw Lily, she ran toward her with tears in her eyes. The two of them hugged tightly, both feeling overwhelmed by the emotions of the moment. "I can't believe this is real," Lucy whispered. Lily's father and Lucy's mother stood a little behind, watching the two girls. After so many years apart, seeing them together again was almost too much to believe. Lily's father and Lucy's mother looked at each other with silent understanding. They had both kept the secret of the twin sisters for so long, but now, seeing them together, it felt like everything had come full circle. The family went back to Lucy's house, where they all shared a meal together. It was a simple dinner, but the room was filled with so much warmth and love. The twins couldn't stop talking, laughing, and catching up. They compared their lives, their childhoods, and everything they had missed. It was like they were making up for all those lost years. The next day, the family visited a park and walked through the beautiful green gardens. Lily and Lucy talked about how different their lives had been, but how similar they were in so many ways. They both loved photography, nature, and the same books. They both had the same laugh, the same way of smiling. It was incredible how many things they had in common. As the days went by, the family spent time together, reminiscing about the past and creating new memories. Lily and Lucy had so much to talk about, and they were always laughing together. Their parents, who had not remarried, seemed to have found comfort in being together again, even if just for the sake of their daughters. There was a quiet understanding between them, a sense that they still cared for each other, even after all these years. One evening, as the family sat around the dinner table, the twins looked at each other and smiled. It was clear that they had both found something they had been missing all their lives. They had not only found their twin sister but also reconnected their parents. The two girls hoped, deep in their hearts, that their parents might start to find their way back to each other. It was obvious that they still had feelings for one another. The twins quietly wished that their parents would fall in love again, just as they had. For the first time in years, the family felt complete. After 15 years of separation, they were together again. It was the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one filled with love, laughter, and a renewed sense of connection.